Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live stream. And this is also going to be released as a podcast. And there's going to be a video replay available for members. And members can also watch this live and ask me any questions. So I thought, since we're working a little bit on these melodic structures this week, thought we would take a look at Giant Steps solo. Actually, not Giant Steps 26-2, but it's kind of those sort of Coltrane type changes. So I thought we'd start with that. And so I'm going to play a little bit and play us in, play a little bit of a solo exercise over changes for 26-2. And playing this fairly slowly, so hopefully get a sense for some of the really kind of challenges with it. Trying to connect lines with chord changes that change every basically, or key changes, change kind of 2 beats at a time, or depending how you look at it. But so I'll start out by playing a little bit. Okay, so there are a couple choruses there. Where you hear something. So I, very intentionally played a lot of kind of melodic structures, just kind of give you the idea, a little bit of the theme that we're working with in the last couple of days. So we'll dive in a little bit here into this Coltrane solo. So we'll look at kind of the first chorus, kind of with the intent really of trying to locate some of these melodic structures, see what we can find here. All right, so we start with C here on the the F chord. So we have, that's going to be the fifth of that chord. And then we're going to have A flat 7. We start with the 9, third, and then we play the fifth of the D flat major there. Okay, and then the 9 of the E, and then the third of the E7, going to the fifth of the A major 7. Let's take a look at just kind of that. So you can see we start at the fifth of each tonic chord, the F, fifth of D flat, and the fifth of the A major. And we could also see that each time on the dominant chord, and he starts with the 9. Okay. And even on the C7 here, which we haven't quite talked about. So it's got a bit of a pattern here. It's pretty clearly laid out. So we have this tone. Coming in here, and so it's kind of the same repeated pattern. You can almost kind of just transpose it. Let's take a look at this F7, what he does on this F7. So we have, all right. So we have a C minor melodic structure here. Basically, well, we have the C minor triad. Okay, and then we're going to have the third of that chord. So maybe not the melodic structure, but we have the minor triad. Okay, and then we have the third. So we have, let's check this out. So if we kind of transpose this, okay. So it is the F melodic structure. Let's check the math on that. Okay, maybe not. We've got, if we kind of compress all these, let's see, we've got A, G, E flat, and C. So we'll call it a really kind of more of an arpeggio. So we might say C minor 6 on that sound there. All right, so let's carry on and see if we can look at a little more of this. We won't look at the whole solo, but we're gonna just see if we can find some of these elements, or just get some ideas of how he's handling these changes. All right, so let's get back to this solo here. So we're going to look at the next 4 measures. All right, we get a root of the B flat. So it's really heading for those 9s on the dominant 7. Okay, now there, we have this D flat 7. Okay, and so we have, now we do have a flat minor melodic structure. Okay, so that you can start one of these on the fifth of a given chord. So that would be the case here. So plays. Okay. So that would be A flat minor melodic structure on the D flat 7. Okay, and then he's going to resolve to the third of the G flat. So that helps to resolve things a little bit. So we have okay, and then we're going to go D minor 7. So what does he play on that? Okay, so we get D minor triad. And this is the 6th of a D minor, that B there. It's also the third of the G7. Okay, and then going to the 9. Okay, so let's check this out. Okay, so you can really hear the changes and what he's doing there. All right, so we'll look at some more. So what do we have here? Okay. All right, so we have a few chord tones here. It's a little reminiscent of the melody, A flat 7. So let's see what he does there. So we get a couple of chord tones, okay, and then we get this C flat. So that is a sharp 11, or sharp 9 rather. Sorry, sharp 9. Okay, so we get on the D flat, we get the third and the root note, and back to the third, flat 7. Okay. Okay, on the A flat major 7, we just kind of have a C sharp minor triad. Okay, and then the C7. You might think of that in terms of maybe passing tone, or you could think of it in terms of bebop type scale. C7. Okay, so that's where you connect kind of the flat 7 to the root, or the root to the flat 7. Okay, and then okay, we get the third and the root of F7, and then we get the 9 and flat 7 of C7. So let's see if we play through that a little bit slowly. All right, so we'll venture on and see what else we can learn here. All right, B flat. Chord tones there. A flat 7. Both chord tones there. D flat major. sticks with the D flat major triad. Gets a what you might call G sharp diminished, but really kind of flat 7, 5th, and 3rd of the E7. And then on A major 7, stepwise motion, just kind of up an A major scale, and then C7, landing on the flat 7 root, and then going to the 3rd of the F. All right, so we'll continue on here. Okay, so we have the F major 7 chord. Okay, so it's going to the root of E. Okay, so we have the F7. I'll play through that slowly here. We can see how these, just kind of the contours of these phrases, how they really fit within 4 measures pretty neatly. So just kind of taking a look at the contour of the phrases. Okay, so we have E minor 7 going to the 6th of that. Kind of start with this grace note. But we end up on this note here. There we go. Okay, A7. So that's between the 3rd and the 5th of that tone. Then we get to the 5th. Okay, get the 6th of that chord as well. G minor. Okay. Here we've got C7, we've got the sharp 9 on that. And then the flat 9. Okay, so we're starting to see a little more of those, although we did look a little bit at those earlier. All right, well, let's take a look at maybe a couple more lines, and then we'll call it a day here. All right. So we have seen a little bit of the melodic structures, not entirely, but I think if we look at giant steps, we might see a little more of the those, as well as pentatonics. Okay, so let's continue on. We'll maybe just finish out one time through the form of the tune. Okay, so what do we have here? F major 7. Okay, get get that kind of ends up on the root there of that note, of that chord, A flat 7. So we've kind of seen this line too with the F7. So let's play through this a little bit here. All right, well, we do see this. This is definitely a melodic structure here, so we've kind of an inversion of it. So if we were to take it, reorder it to our kind of bass line, more familiar kind of thing, we would D flat, E flat, F, and then the A flat. So we have those notes, just kind of more of an inversion and maybe a permutation as well. So, okay, so we get a nice melodic structure, another example of that. So that's cool to see. Yeah, another thing too is that, you know, it's always hard when you're analyzing or doing an overview of a particular solo or something. It's really hard to say what someone was doing. But anyway, we'll find some melodic structures. Okay, we get the third of B flat, the root of B flat, the fifth of D flat. Okay, and then we get the major 7 of the G flat. We get the flat 7 of the E. So he's hitting a lot of major 7s here on the major chords. Get the 9. Okay, so so we came across at least 2 melodic structures. I see actually more just kind of glancing down. So not quite as many as I had expected. So there's one that I see coming up in the transcription on D flat major 7. Okay, it's really the same inversion as the one we did earlier, I think. So maybe he had that one or liked that one. And then let's see if any others just kind of. So so definitely in there, not as many as I had thought, but maybe we'll look at some of his other solos and things too. All right. So, you know, and that kind of brings up the point that you wouldn't necessarily want this to be the only thing that you do on it. So kind of use melodic structures, maybe use pentatonic scales, maybe use arpeggios, triads, a bebop scale, or just kind of encircling and passing tones. So as far as note choices, a lot of things that we can do. We can play slightly ahead. That was one thing that happened there on that F major 7, where he plays on the first beat 2 chord tones, and then on beat 2 plays chord tones for the next chord 1 beat early. So that's another little thing that you can do. Now on this tune, because the chords change so quickly, you may not want to stretch out too far or get too far away from what's going on, because you might kind of lose your listener, you might lose yourself, you might lose your bandmates. So So this is one where, kind of melodic structures and pentatonics can really be helpful or playing arpeggios. So I'm going to play a little bit, do a real slow kind of pass through because I want to think a little bit about some of the takeaways. So we landed on some nines, especially on the dominant chords, a lot of fifths to start out with. And fifths tend to resolve to nines too. So that may not be entirely surprising. So, all right. So I'm going to play through kind of slow and see if we can work a little bit with some of those concepts there. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for checking this out, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a great practice session.